Hello everybody, this is Question Mark again here on June 11th, pre-release day for Modern Horizons 2. One of the most expensive sets of Magic the Gathering that they've ever made, and I'm here with a pre-release pack, which costs about $50, and Wizards of the Coast offered no prize support, so there are no bonus boosters like I've been getting from most other sets. So and booster boxes of this set are going for about $300. Collector's boosters are close to $500. This set's great and all, but hot damn, expensive. Pricing most people out, honestly. If you're trying to be like a Magic player on a budget, good luck. I don't know what you do. You just, I guess you do what the professor says, and you buy singles. But even then, singles prices are way high right now, but they've said that this is going to be an unlimited print run set, so it's going to be print to demand, basically. They're going to print more and more of it until, things level out. So I do expect prices to continue to drop over the course of the next month or two, maybe a couple of months. In fact, probably die down the most right after the D&D set comes out, when the hype has dulled quite a bit for this. But for now, hype is maxed, prices are way up. And let's see what I got as my pre-release foil. It is Scion of Draco, which is awesome. I actually do play Draco in a deck. I play it in my Yuriko the Tiger Shadow deck, because you can make all of your opponents lose life equal to the card revealed off the top of your library's mana value. And so I looked up, what's the highest mana value in the game? And the answer is Draco, at 16. So I do play Draco, but Scion of Draco looks like it's supposed to be, it actually is going to be played more like it's intended to. 12 mana 4/4, but with Domain. So it costs 2 less for each basic land type among lands you control. And I love this for a 5-color deck. I mean, sure, it's a flying 4/4 that could cost as little as, 2? But each creature you control has Vigilance if it's white, Hexproof if it's blue, Lifelink if it's black, First Strike if it's red, Trample if it's green. 5-color decks? Creature-based decks? Oh, I love this. I love this. You could technically play it in a 4-color or even 3-color deck. And it's got this, like, tribal kind of thing going, or not tribal, like, just color matters thing. I've been designing cards like that for a long time, and they finally did one, and it's awesome. I got a foil one, so that's cool. Along with it, looks like I've got a few tokens. Okay. Making sure everybody's got all the tokens they need. Crab, Beast, Bird, Phyrexian Germ. Oh, yeah. Bunch of creatures getting the Phyrexian creature type now. For better or for worse. I think it's really cool and flavorful that we're getting a lot more Phyrexians. However, some of these creatures have long type lines now. Squirrels of the Multiverse, what the... Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and read this on my own time here, but that is neat. And then, do you know how to build a pre-release? How to do a sealed? Yeah, I do. I've done it. Okay. Oh yeah, and I'm glad that my die was red. That's a nice color. It's kind of a bummer when I get, like, black or white. Those ones tend to be kind of boring, but blue, green, and red are cool. Alright, so we got 6 expensive packs. Let's see what we get. And, these are $50. I've been hearing a lot of people getting more than $50 worth of stuff out of them. That's great. I'm excited by the sketch cards. I'm excited by some of the Modern Horizons 1 reprints, and a bunch of new amazing cards. Let's see what we get here. Orchard Strider. Basic land cycling. Oh, and creates 2 foods. Yeah, I've been brainstorming a food deck. I might put it in. So commons I'll put over here. Gouged Zealot. Reach, Delirium. Okay. It's a Cyclops Berserker. I just built a giant deck, so Cyclops. Nope, sorry. Not going in. Mental Journey, more basic land cycling. That's nice. This pack also feels hefty. It feels heavy, like he has more cards in it or something. Vigilance 3/2. Seems okay. I don't love how like dark the art printing here is. Like you can barely see what's going on in most of this art. But Wizards has been printing cards dark for a while. Too dark. Okay. Madness. There needed to be more cards with Madness. There's that Angie Falconwrath deck, which could be cool, except what people actually do with it is just like discard Madness cards until they find their infinite combo and win. But it'd be nice if they made more and better Madness cards for that kind of deck, so that you could actually cast the Madness cards and be good. So here's hoping. Also, Madness coming back in Modern in a big way. That's cool. Might get played. Unbound potential. Oh, hey, secret. Wait, secret in the middle? Okay. Unbounded potential. 2 mana instant. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, or proliferate and entwine. The entwine cost is a little high, but I think the rest of the card is okay, especially at common. But yeah, here's my little surprise. An old border, but new card. Goblin Anarchomancer. Goblin Shaman. Each spell you cast that's red or green costs 1 less to cast. This card is amazing, by the way. If you play... I mean, the decks you played in are kind of obvious. Let's see. If you can play red and green, and you are playing red and green, and your spells cost mana, then this is a decent creature that reduces the cost of your spell. Like, I don't have to tell you what to play this in, but, like, play it and stuff. That's neat. Okay, Abundant Harvest. Oh, this is the preprint from Strixhaven, the Mystical Archive. This is the one card that they hadn't printed yet, but was coming in Modern Horizons 2. And people were like, oh, is it going to be a common, an uncommon, a rare? And it turns out it's a common, and it seems like a pretty good one. That you draw it early game, you need to hit your land drops, you get a land. You draw it late game, you need to hit your spells, you draw a spell. It's, I mean, it seems like it could be as good as like Ponder and things like that, but we'll see. I tend to not play little like cantrips and stuff very much. It's not really my thing, but it could be good. Ornithopter of Paradise. I love the flavor of this, and I might actually play it in a deck of mine that currently is playing Leadenmere and Goldenmere, and I might play this instead, because it doesn't matter that they have 1 power. It matters that they cost 2 mana, and they tap for a colored mana, and that they are creatures. And this does that, but has flying and an additional toughness. That's cool. Liquimetal Torque. So this is like Liquimetal Coating, but you can't accidentally turn into land destruction, which I totally did in Standard. I actually did land destruction with it. And taps for a colorless. So could this be a new, like, Commander staple in a way? 2 mana rocks to make a colorless, like a Mind Stone and stuff like that? I don't think so, but close. I think that if you're playing a deck that cares about artifacts in a affinity style way, then I think yeah, actually, then you do play this and it's good. Alright, that's a uncommon. Blessed Respite. Colorless and a green. Oh wow, looks like some Dark Souls stuff was happening there. Also, there's some other card. Blessed something that has art like that. Instant. Target player shuffles their graveyard into their library. Prevent all combat damage to be dealt this turn. That seems really good, actually. Really good. For a fog? You shuffle some... Yeah, it's like Blessed Renewal or something that looks like that. And I think it's just this without the fog. So this seems really good. Ooh, and my first sketch card. Okay, I wasn't sure if you get sketch cards in normal draft booster packs. I'm really glad to hear that you do, because I have a whole draft booster box coming, and I'm going to be glad to get some sketches. So this one's green and a white for a 2/2 with Reach, Lifelink, and Outlast. And each other creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Outlast of a green-white hybrid. Now, I usually love cards in alternate styles like this because I love it when they cut off the reminder text. The card becomes more elegant, and usually I know exactly what it does, so I don't need the reminder text. Except in this case, Outlast. I don't know if everyone remembers Outlast and what it does exactly. I believe it is for that mana cost and tap, you can put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, but you can only activate it at sorcery speed. Those are important things to know, and lacking it on this card is a little rough. If I was going to include this in a deck, I would want to double check and make sure exactly. It seems like a decent card, though. Wait a second, that is 3 uncommons and a 4th one now. Okay, so 4 uncommons in this pack? Is that how they do things now? Or did the Arcus Alkalite? I don't know. Also, I should note, Arcus is my name minus 1 letter. So, maybe that's a sign. But yeah, Counterspell, otherwise known as my favorite spell in all of Magic, that I cram in every deck that I can. I mean, I'm countering spells left and right with Counterspell. No, actually, I think it's going to be great for Modern. And I think that's great if your deck is mostly blue. But I keep cutting it from decks because I keep building decks that are not mostly blue. If you're mostly blue, I think this is great. Oh, okay. Solitude. So we got a mythic rare, and it's one of the Evoke Elemental Incarnations. One of the ones with Flash. This one has Lifelink, and if you exile a white card from your hand, you can evoke it for free. And the main benefit, of course, is when it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 other target creature. That creature's controller gains life equal to its power. So this is a Swords to Plowshares on a creature that could either, blink to do its thing repeatedly, or you can evoke it for free. So it can be a free Swords to Plowshares. This seems really good. I'm not sure exactly how good. I'm going to test it out. Probably going to put it in my mono white deck. Seems good, though. All right. Well, all right, that's the show, everybody. We're done. I got my money's worth. We can call it a day. They reprinted Fetchlands specifically for me. This is a gift from, Mark Rosewater, Gavin Verhey, everyone at Wizard of the Coast. They're like, Marcus could use another Scalding Tarn. Let's give him a foil one. And, yeah, that's worth more than the whole box I paid for it. So yeah, we're done. I mean, okay. Can you see this line in the middle of it? Yeah, so that's just for future proof that it came with this, like, razor slice almost through the whole front of it there. Ignoring that, foil Scalding Tarn probably was over $100. What's it worth today? I don't know. It's probably gonna still be worth more than $50 forever. I mean, the price of Fetchlands is coming down. The days where you have to pay $100 for a Scalding Tarn are probably behind us for a normal one. But the foil one, I don't know. Also, there are more types now. You'll be able to get an extended art one. You'll be able to get a old border one. I don't prefer those. I prefer this. Oh, and it does appear to be flat. It's not curled at all. It sat perfectly aligned with all the rest of the cards in the pack. So that's very good. All right, well, my first pack included a mythic rare and a foil Fetchland, as well as a old style common and a sketch uncommon. So, like, how much are these packs supposed to be worth? Because that's worth a million times more than that. All right. So, Arcbound Tracker seems cool. Modular dog. Mod dog. I'm not going to have the most intelligent commentary on some of the rest of these here, so I'm still a little blown away by that. And we've seen a few of these cards before. Oh, Marble Gargoyle. Oh no, this whole card is like a tongue twister. Marble Gargoyle. Artifact creature Gargoyle. Flying, white. Marble Gargoyle gets +0/+1 until end of turn. Once past the stony exterior, the meat is exquisite and can be stuffed with phthalids or simmered in a broth of manticore venom. So says Asmarana Mardakadaistina Kuldakar. Asmarana Mardakadaistina Kuldakar. I'm pretty sure I've got it. The Underworld Cookbook. All right, so Marble Gargoyle, Marble Bargle, is 2 tongue twisters in 1 card. That's a good deal. Hellmongrel, neat. Blacksmith Skill. This card is super interesting. 1 white for an instant. Target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. If it's an artifact creature, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This seems really good. White. Way to get like a really good instant speed protection spell. It's like the opposite of a Swords to Plowshares. You really want something to not get swords? Use this. Wave Sifter. When it enters the battlefield, investigate twice. 5 mana, 3/2 for flying. I mean, okay, the obvious comparison here is to Mole Drifter. Another 5 mana, 2 toughness, flying creature with Evoke. The other one, when it enters the battlefield, you draw 2 cards. This one you investigate twice, which is nowhere near as good as drawing 2 cards, because you have to pay 2 mana for each of those clues to turn them into cards. But the Evoke cost is less, has a little bit more power, and Mole Drifter is still seen as a really good card, despite being a common from 12, 13 years ago. So this seems okay, especially for draft. Galvanic Relay. I was actually brainstorming a Storm deck the other day, and this goes in it. 3 mana sorcery, exile the top card of your library. During your next turn, you may play that card, Storm. So it's interesting because it's the Storm card where, like, normally the play on Storm is you try to sequence, you try to build up to 1 big turn where you do all of your spells at once. And then your payoff is the big Storm card. In this case, the big Storm card is set aside a big stack of spells and maybe play them next turn. And then maybe go bigger. But you could do them now. So yeah, this card seems really, really good, actually. Ooh, Gargadon. Okay, got a sketchy Gargadon. All right, you know what? I should be keeping the sketches separate somewhere. Over there. Oh, you know what? Crab token over there. There we go, sketchy. Uncommons. Old school. Okay. Gargadon. 7 mana, 7/5 Trampler with Suspend. 4 for 2 mana. Intent. Magic has made a greater Gargadon and a lesser Gargadon. See reference. We want you to design the average Gargadon. That makes it all worth it. Neat. Not an amazing card, but it's neat. Glimmerbairn. I love the reference that this is to the Gilderbairn, and I love the art. Can it? Yeah, there we go. We can see the art pretty good there. Love it. It's an oof. It's 1 mana. It eats tokens. I love it. Feel free. Prophetic Titan. This is excellent. I'm so happy to get this. I'd love to get like a foil or something, but I just built a giant deck, giant tribal, that plays blue and red. And one of the problems that it has is with card advantage. You know, I play my big fat fatties and then, you know, just cross my fingers that they don't die. And if they die, well, then I lose. But with this, Delirium, sure, when it enters the battlefield, you choose 1. But if you have Delirium, you choose more than 1. So it's not like it does nothing if you don't have Delirium. But yeah, if you have Delirium, that's having 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. But when it enters the battlefield, you deal 4 damage to any target, which is a lot of damage to literal anything, so that's great. Or you can look at the top 4 cards in your library, put 1 of them into your hand. So it's better than draw a card, and better than Lightning Bolt, and you get 1 of them without Delirium, and both of them with it. That seems great, and absolutely what that deck wants to be doing. Very happy to get it. Ooh, this is one of the other better Storm payoffs. This is Threaten, but do it a lot. So if you have Stormed off, it is Insurrection, because you can just steal all the creatures, and the art is very similar to Insurrection, but it's got dinosaurs in it. So very happy to get that as well. Blossoming Calm. You gain hexproof until your next turn, gain 2 life, rebound. That's nice. That's nice. I don't see this likely becoming a big thing in Commander, my format, but in Modern, this would be like potentially sick sideboard tech against burn, against discard, something like that. How awesome would that be? Your opponent goes turn 1 Thoughtseize, and you respond by giving yourself hexproof. They lose 2 life. You gain 2 life. And then their Thoughtseize is countered, so they don't get the benefit. And lastly, it rebounds, so you get it again the next turn. They still can't mess with your hand, and you gain another 2 life. That seems pretty good. Sea Drake. Okay, so this is a reprint from new to modern. So 3 mana, 4/3. Okay, a lot of power on this. Flying, when Sea Drake enters the battlefield, return 2 target lands you control to their owner's hand. Okay. Well, I can see how that's usually a drawback and kind of hard to make it into an advantage, but could be done. And all right. I don't think it's something I'm likely to play, but it's neat. So Mark Rosewater and Gavin Harroway got together, and they're like, Marcus needs some more fetch lands. So they just printed this set just for me to give me more fetch lands. So I thank them for that. I've got 2 fetch lands now, the 2 most expensive, and one of them's foil. So that's great. Both of these cards were like $60 to $90 a year or so ago. So
Misty Rainforest being 60.
Oof, yeah. I actually was looking to buy a Scalding Tarn, and one of my local game stores didn't have one. And I was getting a little bummed. I was thinking I was going to have to buy one online. And then I was going through a stack of old cards, and I just found one. Just had one lying around. And it was a stack of cards from like at least 4 or 5 years ago. So it was like, at the time, Scalding Tarn was still valuable, but it just went up from there and became insane. Also, Tavern Scoundrel, 2 mana, 1/3. Whenever you win a coin flip, create 2 treasure tokens. And sure, a colorless and tap it and sacrifice another permanent, flip a coin. It goes infinite with a card, I believe it's called Frenetic Efreet, a card that I believe I also still own a copy of. It's from like Mirage or something, pretty old school, but it says for 0 mana, flip a coin. The rest of it doesn't matter. I believe if you lose the flip, then you sacrifice the Efreet, but you can choose to pay the 0 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, and then flip that many coins. And then Tavern Scoundrel will make you 2 treasures every time that you win a flip, and you've flipped 1,000 times. So odds are you'll win 1,000 times, and then you've got 1,000 treasures for 0 mana. That seems worth it. So yeah, it goes infinite with a card that I think just skyrocketed in price recently. Or maybe not skyrocketed, because that card's, I think, not legal in most formats. But still, I could do it. I think I could do it.
In a Krark deck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You played in Krark the Thumbless. You played in Zinder Split and Okaun, I think is what they're called. Seems real good in any deck that was already planning on flipping coins. It's even got 3 toughness, so it lives through things. But hard evidence. I love this little crab detective. Now, I know technically that crab probably is not actually a detective employed by the police department to solve crimes. However, you create a crab and you investigate. That's hard evidence that this is a crab detective. Urban Daggertooth. Okay, so a 4 mana 4/3 with Vigilance with Enrage. Whenever Urban Daggertooth is dealt damage, proliferate. So this is following the trend of dinosaurs that will not make it into my dinosaur deck. It's sad. I keep asking for more dinosaurs, and occasionally Wizards delivers and gives me a new dinosaur. But they keep giving them like commons and kind of weak abilities when I'm trying to do big stompy, drop them on the battlefield for free and kill people dinosaurs. Thankfully, this is not the only dinosaur in the set. They absolutely gave me a giant, stompy, terrorizing dinosaur in this set. If I do not draw one in my draft booster box or in this set of packs. I will absolutely buy one. It's got like Storm, it's got like Haste and Vigilance, and it's huge and it's amazing. Guiltblade Prowler, 3 mana 2/3 human rogue. For 1 tap, pay 1 life, draw a card. Activate only if you've discarded a card this turn. Okay, sure. Not as much into that. Arcbound Prototype, 2 mana 0/0 artifact creature assembly worker with modular 2. Neat, seems good in draft. Chrome Courier. This is one I've been curious about. So, a colorless, a white and a blue for an artifact creature, Thopter. And it's got flying, and it's a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. If you put an artifact card in your hand this way, you gain 3 life. So this is very similar to, I think it's like Sky Scanner, which is a 3 mana, 1/2 maybe with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. This is slightly better than you draw a card, because you look at the top 2 cards, put one of them into your hand, the other in the graveyard. If it's an artifact, you gain 3 life. I don't know. I'm not sure how good this is. Then again, Sky Scanner doesn't see much play, but this seems in many cases better than Sky Scanner. So, I don't know. Turok's Canticle? Is that Turok's Cankles or something? What? 4 mana sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a card from it. That player discards that card, then discards a card at random. Seems okay. Fodder Tosser. 3 mana artifact. Tap, discard a card. Fodder Tosser deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Okay, so we're discarding cards to shock here. I mean, seems like a madness enabler. I hope that this gets some play somewhere, but I'm not sure where. Breathless Knight. This looks really cool. It's a Spirit Knight, a colorless, a white and a black. 2/2 flying lifelinker. Whenever Breathless Knight or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature entered from a graveyard or you cast it from a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Breathless Knight. Ooh, that seems really cool. I don't have a use for this, but I'm sure that there's somebody who does. Tormod's Crypt Keeper. Is he going to tell me a tale from the crypt? 3 mana, 3/2, artifact creature golem with vigilance. Sacrifice, or tap and sacrifice, Tormod's Crypt Keeper. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. It guards not a body, but a secret. Okay, I'm not sure exactly where that would see play, but maybe somebody, somewhere. Exiling all cards from someone's graveyard is a pretty powerful effect. Oh, also I've been hearing people speculating on a Fast and Furious, like Vin Diesel secret layer. So yeah, this is Fast and Furious. You can discard a card to draw 2, or deal 3 damage to each creature without flying. Both sides seem okay. I'm probably not going to play it in anything. Radiant Epicure. Okay, we got a vampire here, and I do have a vampire deck, but at 5 mana, I'm unlikely to play her. 5/5, but with Converge, and she's a wizard. Okay, let's keep reading. I do not know this card. When Radiant Epicure enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life. I like it. Where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell. Okay, so big drain for a multicolor deck. Okay, yeah, and a 5-color or like many colors wizard deck. Maybe a wizard deck with Inala, the one that like makes copies of wizards and like bounces them and stuff. This could be really good there. Know where I play, but that's fine. Specimen Collector. Oh, I like Vidalkin. I like getting more Vidalkin, but you can barely tell she's Vidalkin. I don't know. 4 and a blue for a 2/1. Oh, bad stats. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token and a 0/3 blue crab creature token. When it dies, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. Well, that's neat. Creates 2 tokens, and when it dies, you make another token? That's cool. Oh, Vindicate. Okay. Well, this is not a card I'm super excited to get because It has really waned in popularity in Commander over the last few years. Look at how off-center this is. What in the world? Like, the left is way bigger than the top. Huh. Okay. Well, also, I have at least one copy of this already, maybe more than one. I don't play it in any of my decks anymore. And the other day, I found out that Vindicate was being reprinted into Modern for the first time, and the price on it was going up, because it might be decent in Modern. And I thought that was cool, and I was going to unload mine. Well, just drew another one. I do like the Modern Horizons 2 reprints new to Modern where they have the watermark here. I liked it in Masters 25, and I like it here. But now, okay. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Urza's Saga. This is the enchantment land that costs 0 mana and does all kinds of stuff. People have been talking about this on the internet. It confuses me a little bit. It's obviously good. How good it is, what I'm going to play it in, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to hold on to it till then. I'm not going to sell it. Seems very good. And probably worth more than the price of the pack, I would guess. People have been talking about it a lot, after all. Yeah. And then Thopter Token. Okay. Well, I know I've been going pretty slow through this. I've been talking about almost every single card that I've been revealing here. I'm enjoying myself. Most of these cards are either newish to me, or they're completely new. And I'm also, you know, winning like gangbusters over here. So I am not in a rush. Especially, you know, I don't have a whole lot of packs to open today, so I'm kind of savoring it a little bit. Plus, I have a lot to say about some of these. I don't know Modern, really. Couldn't tell you much about that. Nothing that I know from first-hand experience, anyway. Just like what I've heard. But I know Commander, and a lot of these cards go into Commander decks. Foundry Helix, let's see. A colorless, a red, and a white. Obviously, seems to be a reference to Lightning Helix. Instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a permanent. Foundry Helix deals 4 damage to any target. If the sacrifice permanent was an artifact, you gain 4 life. Neat. Would that see play in any Commander decks? Actually, maybe. There's been some, I think it's Osgir the Reconstructor and maybe Quintorius. I'm astounded that I've just pulled out these names. That do involve, like, putting artifacts in your graveyard and 4 damage to anything at instant speed while enabling the sacrifice and likely gaining 4 life. That could be a win-win-win all around. 4 damage is enough to do something meaningful, and it does say any target. You can always throw it at a player's face if you got no viable targets on the battlefield. So, maybe for Commander. Hey, we got an Axolotl. Sojourner's Companion is a 7 colorless, 4/4 artifact creature salamander. Has affinity for artifacts, so it's mere enforcer, I think is what it is. But it also has artifact land cycling. So you can pay 2 colorless and discard it, search your library for an artifact land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. That reminds me, there are 10 artifact lands in this set, and I haven't drawn any yet. I want them all. I want multiple of them. I want them badly. They seem cool. Anyway, here's one of the cards I was just talking about wanting so badly, right next to it. So, awesome. These are artifact lands that enter the battlefield tapped, but are indestructible and produce 2 colors. Artifact land is a big upside. Producing 2 colors is a big upside. Indestructible is a big upside. Entering the battlefield tapped. In order to make it a common, like, wow. I'm actually willing to pay that. These cards are going to see play and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
It's exciting how they managed to make a common land that enters the battlefield tapped. Exciting. Like, it's exciting how they made it exciting. It is exciting. Captured Legax. Captured by Legax. Oh yeah, this is the pacifism, but like you put some counters on some of your creatures. Seems okay. Bottle Golems. I've almost played Bottle Gnomes in a couple of decks. I've always gotten near cutting it down to the actual 99 and then been like, What was I thinking? This was silly. Ball Gnomes is obviously bad. This, I mean, it's got Trample. It's a 4-mana 3/3. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power, so it doesn't just gain you 3 life, you could boost it somehow and gain more. I don't think it's likely to see play, but it's not impossible. You wouldn't be just a big dumb idiot if you found a deck that like boosted it or something. Fey Offering. Is this what I think it is? 3 mana enchantment at the beginning of each end step. Oh, if you've cast both a creature spell and a non-creature spell this turn, create a clue, a food token, and a treasure token. So, I love the payoff, and the cost isn't that bad, but the hoops you gotta jump through to cast a non-creature spell and a creature spell, like each and every turn, I would like to build around this effect.
You could definitely. I think there's a couple other cards that I've seen recently that actually would go hand in hand with that.
Yeah. I mean, if this were on a legendary creature, I'd be like, let's build the deck that does that. But it's not on a legendary creature. It's on an uncommon enchantment. It would just be in your 99 somewhere. So that's tough.
Asmora chick.
Oh, well, no, she's not green.
Oh, shit.
No.
Right.
You could put in Guillaume, the green-black food commander. And I may. I think I want to design the deck, basically, and then at the end of the day, look at it and go, am I likely to cast a creature spell and a non-creature spell on a typical turn? And if the answer isn't yes, absolutely, I can do that all the time, then it probably doesn't see play. But it's a shame. I think it's a neat effect. But maybe it's like strictly for casual Magic, I guess. I don't know. Archfiend, because I want it to be good. I like the payoff. It's cool. Well, Archfiend of Sorrows is a 7-mana 4/5 flying demon. When it enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn, so a mini board wipe kind of thing. And when it has Unearth, so you can bring it back from the graveyard with haste 1 time for 5 mana. Neat. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm probably going to do nothing with it. Kaleidoscorch? Okay, I did not see this card in previews. A colorless and a red for a sorcery with Converge. It deals X damage to any target where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell. Flashback of 5. Okay, that's funny. So it's a sorcery for 2 mana that deals 2 damage to any target, basically, if you get 2 different colors in there. And then Flashback is 5 mana, so you can do it a second time, and you can do up to 5 damage. It's kind of clever, but it seems also kind of weak. If this were an instant, I'd say this card is great. But it's not, so it maybe is bad. Yavimaya Elder. This one doesn't throw me anymore. It's cool that it's in Modern now. And I like this style. If I play Yavimaya Elder in a deck, I'm probably going to play this copy of it, but I usually don't, and I've got a bunch of copies of it. Fractured Sanity Sketch Card. Well, that's neat. Blue for a sorcery. Each opponent mills 14 cards. That's a lot of cards. Cycling of a colorless and a blue. When you cycle Fractured Sanity, each opponent mills 4 cards.
Wow, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, and actually, I love this card because the normal version of Fractured Sanity is some pretty abstract art, and you can't really make heads or tails of it. Most people have looked at it and it's just like a mess. It doesn't mean anything to them. But this, with the sketches, you can see more like what they were going for. And the art description down here, action, we'd like an epic abstract illustration of a fantastical moon, not the real-life Earth moon, which has cracked open. You can see like this lizard and this bird and different stuff going on there. So actually, I think I prefer this to the normal version of the card. I'm really glad I got it.
I just like the sketchbook style, too. Like, I like that there's more variety in the card styles now.
Absolutely.
It seems like there used to be a lot more, like, in the really old cards. And then now everything kind of looks samey. But then they, like with Ikoria, they had the comic book style art.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, honestly, I just want to encourage them to continue to experiment. And I like this experiment. I actually really like seeing art descriptions.
I like seeing the sketch of the art before it was finished.
Yeah.
That's just neat.
Battle plan, 4 mana enchantment at the beginning of combat on your turn. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Basic land cycling. Gosh, is this any good at all? Target creature you control. For 4 mana, it's a common, I guess. Basic land cycling. This seems pretty rough. Not sure if anyone plays that anywhere. Ethereum Spinner. 3 mana for a 2/1 artifact creature human wizard. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. I mean, I could see a deck that does do that. There are definitely decks that play larger spells and would love to get a payoff of just flying creature tokens. So that's neat. Smell Fear. Okay. 2 mana sorcery proliferate. Love it. Target creature you control fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Okay. Yeah, I've been considering for a while rebuilding my Skullbriar deck, and if I do, this seems right up that alley. Because I need removal in the deck, but I like removal that is simultaneously pumping my commander, which is the point of the deck. So, great. World Weary. Okay, this is part of the basic land cycling cycle. And I remember looking at this card and thinking it was bad when I thought it was a sorcery. But given that it's an enchant creature spell, -4/-4 for 5 mana, I don't know. I doubt I'm going to play it in anything, but, I mean, it's mostly for limited, for draft. Lens Flare, call J.J. Abrams. Old joke. 5 mana, instant, with affinity for artifacts. Oh, okay, so not 5 mana then. That was a lie. Lens Flare deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Okay, once again, sounds good and limited. I'm not sure if it sees play outside of that, but... Oh! Okay, I got another old school style card from Modern Horizons 2. This is Aeromoeba, which is especially neat because it's a reference to Aquamoeba, which was an old bordered card that enabled Madness back in Odyssey block by having just discard a card to switch its power and toughness. Aquamoeba, I believe, cost 2 mana, and that's part of what made it good, is like a 2 mana 1/3. So it was a really cheap discard enabler for Madness and Threshold and stuff. You just cast it for 2 and then discard your whole hand if you want. This costs 4 mana, has flying, but... So I don't know if this suits the role. Although, really, they have been cracking down on free discard. They felt like that was kind of too good, so putting it on a 4 mana creature that kind of nerfs it a bit, that's probably fair these days. And just... Also, it's a manatee, a flying manatee. So that's cool. Galvanic Relay, that's another one, that's cool. Phantasmal Dreadmaw. Okay, so this is Wizards going like, boy, Marcus sure does have a lot of copies of Phantasmal, of Colossal Dreadmaw kicking around, and he's definitely not tired of seeing more of that. Let's give him another Dreadmaw, and let's give him another dinosaur that he can't play in his dinosaur deck. That's cool. Although I actually do really like this card. I think it's going to be good in limited. I actually won a draft with Blue Illusion deck back in like M12 or something. And action. Using the original art of Colossal Dreadmaw as inspiration, design an illusionary version of the dinosaur. Neat. Thornglint Bridge. Okay, so these are all bridges. That one, for some reason, really hard to read. Thornglint. Okay, but neat. Herd Baloth. Have you heard about the Baloth? Herd. Herd the Baloth. Dumb joke. 5 mana, 4/4 beast. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Herd Baloth, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token. Oh yeah, this guy has like 2 infinite combos for it already. I think Ivy Lane Denizen is one of them. I think that's what it is. Or is it... I think it's something else. Well, it's like when a green creature enters the battlefield, you can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. So you put a counter on this, it makes a Baloth, a token. Token triggers the other card, which puts a +1 counter on this, which makes a new token, which puts... This becomes infinitely large, you make infinite 4/4s. There's more than one card that goes infinite with this, so that's neat. I don't think I'm going to do it. Strike It Rich. This is probably going to go straight into the Storm deck that I was brainstorming, because it's like Manamorphose, and that it costs 1 mana, and it creates 1 mana. Well, I mean, Manamorphose costs 2 mana and creates 2 mana, but you know what I mean. You play Manamorphose in Storm decks. Also, it has flashbacks, so you can do it a second time later, just, you know, for giggles. So this seems actually kind of good for just a little effect. Necromancer's Familiar, 4 mana, 3/1 flying bird spirit with Hellbent. Necromancer's Familiar has lifelink as long as you have no cards in hand. I'm glad that Hellbent is getting a little bit more of a chance here. But a black and discard a card. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. It's a 3/1. Otherwise, yeah, I guess if your deck is going Hellbent all the time, having lifelink on a 3/1, kind of nice. But I don't know. Doesn't speak to me. Soul Snare. Oh, this is a reprint from the original Commander set. It hasn't made a lot of waves in Commander. It's all right, but I'm glad to see it moving on here. Suspend. Okay, I kind of love this. A blue for an instant, exile target creature and put 2 time counters on it. If it doesn't have Suspend, it gains Suspend. Then 2 turns later, it comes back. And they didn't forget that it gains haste. That's important. Time moves in mysterious ways. I like this card a lot. 1 blue for an instant that exiles a creature. Blue's getting more and more good removal. This is just temporary, but I like it. You could even like do it as a protective thing on your own creature, maybe. So yeah, I like it a lot. Oh gosh. So Wizard of the Coast is like, Marcus needs more dinosaurs. He can't play in his dinosaur deck.
And make them shiny for him too, just to make him suffer.
Yeah, give him the sketch version, which is neat, and give him the foil version, which is neat. Give him multiple dinosaurs in one pack that he can't use. Hey, what in the world?
Too.
Timeless Witness, token creature, zombie, human, shaman, 4/4. When Timeless Witness enters the battlefield, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, it's the Eternal Witness with Eternal Eyes. Okay. Well, the token for it anyway. I'd like to get it.
I can't believe how much stuff you've got, like, from these so far.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty impressed.
Yep. Okay, so I'm on my last pack. And yes, it's been a long video. I have been kind of milking it here. But there's a lot of cool stuff in this set. Oh, this one's the Arcbound Cat. Like the Arcbound Dog from before. Not good in my friend's cat deck. Unfortunately, it's red. Funnelweb Recluse, 5 mana, 3/5, reach, Morbid Spider. When it enters the battlefield, if a creature died this turn, investigate. Oh, now this. Parcel Mirror. A colorless and a blue for an artifact creature, Clue Mirror. For 2 colorless, sacrifice Parcel Mirror, draw a card, and it's a 2/1. So this is literally a creature that is also a clue. And it's blue. It's a blue clue. I like it.
Don't you at me over here. Like, he just noticed because I'm autistic and I still love Blue's Clues.
No. We've got the first Kieran in Magic in, decades? What? There hasn't been a Kieran since, Saviors of Kamigawa, back in, 03 or something. And, okay, what does it do? 4 mana, 2/3, common, so flying. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Guardian Kieran. Oh, there were a lot of cards. Oh, this isn't a spirit, though. Okay, so it's not literally from Kamigawa. Followed the Kieran, Ojutai expression, meaning died a hero's death. Okay, so this is from Tarkir. Their Kieran's on Tarkir. Okay. Well, it's still neat. I like that there's... Anyone going for Kieran Tribal now has one more Kieran to add to their deck that they can't play. Sinister Starfish. I mean, this could be a reference to that other Starfish that costs 2 mana and is like a 0/3 and taps to scry 1. That would make sense. It's even in a similar pose, just all creepy instead of blue. It also could be a reference to Sinistar. But Throw that one back. I don't like how it's looking at me. Netos. Hey, late to dinner. Okay, I like this card a lot. Because, 4 mana, 3 colors and a white, for sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a food token. Now, first off, I love it flavorfully. I knew you were set in your ways, friend, but even I didn't expect you to keep our engagement under the circumstances. It's a rhino man whose friend is an elephant man who died, but the elephant man made it to dinner despite having died. He was just a little late. And late is like being dead, but then to dinner and it makes food, and also it's an easier mana cost than resurrection, while having an additional effect on top of resurrection. So it's a strictly better resurrection. And I love it. I love it. Chatterstorm. I got the old style frame Chatterstorm, 2 mana sorcery, create a squirrel token, storm. Well, that's neat. That's gonna be good in something.
You don't by chance have a squirrel deck that you were working on? Or
I haven't even considered a squirrel deck. Who would think of such a thing? Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't have one built, but I could.
You have the secret layer.
I do have the secret layer now. So yeah, Chatterstorm. Actually, is that my only squirrel card in this box so far? Okay, well, wait a second. They gave me another old school card in the same pack, and it's the Baron. That's really cool. Faithless Salvaging. It's the same guys from Faithless Looting, but they're like bummed because almost all the loot's gone. All that's left are broken beliefs. Discard a card, draw a card, rebound.
That's cute.
It still seems alright, especially at instant speed. Seems like a decent card. Specimen Collector, we've talked about. It's neat. Blessed Respite, also neat. Everything is neat. Maybe less so this one. Extruder, hey, I think this was a rare and is now an uncommon here. I think I was looking at it in my rare binder the other day going, who would want this? And then, hey, it's in modern now. Cool. Alright, come to the end. Damn!
Wait, is that a good one?
Damn! Yeah, it's a good one. I definitely wanted this card. It's a damn good card. I definitely wanted this I have a black-white deck that, every deck plays a board wipe or two, and this now is the versatile board wipe when you need it, spot removal when you don't card for a black-white deck. This is awesome. I was going to definitely buy one of these if I didn't draw it, and I drew it, so I'm very happy. And the last actual card in the pack is the food made by Asmarana, Martika, Diced, and Nicole Dakar. I'm getting good at that.
You're the only one I can't say it.
It's got the scorpion tail. There's some people in the background and stuff, some monsters or something. This is cool.
It's a really cool set.
Yep, and I got some good stuff in here. The best of it being the foil Scalding Tarn. And I'm going to look up prices on some of these things, and I guarantee you I made more than the cost of the product back from this. And Scalding Tarn is probably going to continue to be worth more than $50 indefinitely.
Weren't you looking for that anyway?
I have multiple decks that include these colors, and so I have proxied it into a deck or two. I own one copy of each of these. But now I don't have to proxy them. I can play them for real. And I get to flex on people with the foil. Hey! Alright, well, I have enjoyed opening these, and I hope you have enjoyed coming along for the ride with me here. Seeing some of the surprises. And Scion of Draco. Can't forget Scion of Draco. Seeing some of the surprises, hearing my commentary. I hope that it's interesting to some of you. And hope you have a great day, and I may have more videos coming for... every new set is going to have at least one video. I'm buying some product that I'm going to film for every set that comes out. I may end up drafting my draft booster box of this set, so I probably won't be doing that on camera. But, Yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.